friends, Laura Kromzak here, and today we are traveling by map to Hollywood Studios. This is the Disney Slowdown, where I am going to help you plan your magical vacation with your special needs kids. Slow down, savor the moments, stay on budget, and have a great time. Today is a big hitter day. This is a huge park. The best way to hit Hollywood Studios is traveling by map. I'm going to point out tips and tricks, a few little places we like to go and hide to reduce the stressors, and of course, where to find the good water. All right, let's go. Let's hop on over to Hollywood Studios. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is a very popular park. It is equally as popular as Magic Kingdom. So you're going to have a lot of big rides here, and you're going to want to pay attention. We are going to zoom in on the front gate, and as soon as you and your party get all scanned in, then the first thing you're going to want to do is DAS your first big hitter. That's probably going to be Rise of the Resistance, and for multiple reasons. First of all, it goes down frequently. Secondly, Rise is consistently going to have the longest line all throughout the day. It may not look like it, but if you go by the Muppet Theater, there is an entrance into Galaxy's Edge over there. It just wasn't easy to see on the map. The wait times are not going to drop off until people start standing in line for Fantasmic. If you do the Play Disney Parks in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you can actually be a bounty hunter, so that's kind of cool. So it's a good way to pass the time. If you DAS a ride and the ride goes down, then your DAS reservation is going to be turned into a lightning lane, and you will get a notification in your app. Let's zoom in on the middle of the park. This is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's very popular, and it also frequently goes down. If thrill rides are at the top of your list, then when you scan into the park, you're probably going to want to DAS Hollywood's Tower of Terror. You're going to walk to the center, and then you're going to hang a right and go down Sunset Boulevard. Rock and Roll and Roller Coaster is also down Sunset Boulevard, but currently it is down for an annual refurbishment, so you are not going to be able to ride that until it comes back up. It should hopefully be up in May, but it is taken down annually at the beginning of the year. Let's move back to the center of the park. If you go to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that's pretty much in the center at the Grauman's Chinese Theater. To the right is the Star Wars Launch Bay and Animation Court. That's going to be a museum. So if you've got Star Wars fans, but they're not necessarily, thrill seekers, or they want to go and stand off against a stormtrooper, you can go in there. It's kind of like a museum, and it's really interesting. If you've got a kid who's really into it, it might be a great place to hang out. And another great place to seek refuge is right next door at Walt Disney Presents. I do enjoy finding these little 10-15 minute shows that are inside, away from people, not real popular, but it's a great place to just kind of cool down and reset. And you have to go see Muppet Vision 3D. I mean, why would you miss those old guys in the balcony? On the other side of Galaxy's Edge is Toy Story Land, where you get shrunk down to the size of a toy. It's really cool. The theming is just amazing over there. Slinky Dog Dash is your big hitter over there. It's not a thrill roller coaster by any means. It's a nice, small, mild. I would consider it a mild roller coaster. It's a great one to get started on, but it's really fun and it's very popular. Hollywood Studios also has a bunch of entertainment, also very popular, fabulous. Let's go look at the entertainment in the shows. If you zoom in there, close to Fantasmic, during the day there is a theater and you're going to get to see Beauty and the Beast live on stage. You can DAS it, but I would not. This is a great one to use while you're waiting for your ride that you did DAS, like, Rise or Slinky Dog or Mickey and Minnie's or Tower of Terror.
Fantasmic is the nighttime spectacular, and sometimes there will be two shows, but sometimes there may only be one, so you definitely want to check the calendar and decide which one you want to go for. If your crowd can hang, I would recommend the late show because then you can spend the time during the first show going and checking out more of those rides that everybody loves to wait in line for. If you are prioritizing Fantasmic, I would recommend getting in line and you just kind of stand out there by the gates at least an hour ahead of time. If your child really wants to see it and isn't really much into the rides, then you can go ahead and DAS it, but I don't think I would tie up my DAS all evening just for Fantasmic. I really don't think there is a bad seat in the house when it comes to Fantasmic. We have had what they called obstructed view, but we saw everything perfectly clear, probably better than we saw when we were sitting straight on and we'd waited in line for an hour. Another really fun show is the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular, where the actors and actresses will show you how stunts are done on an Indiana Jones movie. Another great way to pass the time while you're waiting for your DAS reservation. And remember, once you DAS something, that DAS is there forever. You don't have just 1 hour to use it like you would a lightning lane. I don't know how you feel about Frozen, but for the first time in forever, the Frozen sing-along is absolutely hysterical. The narrators are fabulous. There are so many pop culture references. It makes it fun for the whole family, even the adults. As you can see, even if rides are not your thing, there is so much going on in Hollywood studios. I don't think I'd want to miss it. So many of these different little shows, 10, 15 minutes, again, indoors, quiet, dark, a nice break in the air conditioning. Plus the characters, you're going to find them in their own locations where, like in Epcot or Animal Kingdom, sometimes they're kind of walking around. These characters not only have their designated location because they're tied to a certain land, but they also, several of them actually are in a building. And if you happen to be in Galaxy's Edge when the First Order comes marching through, let me tell you, that is definitely a sight to see. Speaking of troops marching through, the Green Army Drum Corps also marches through Toy Story Land. That is definitely more fun than, being intimidated by the First Order. If you're finding this video helpful, would you please like it, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell? I'd really appreciate it. Getting yourself familiar with the park, where the lands are located, prioritizing what it is you want to see and do, it's really going to go far in Hollywood studios. Let's go ahead and talk about food. If you drop down, you can see all the places there are to dine. Again, mobile order is going to be your friend. Let's first go show you where some good water is, because when you walk in, you are going to want to hit either ABC Commissary or you're going to want to hit Backlot Burgers, which is just around the corner. Both of those places have self-serve soda fountains where you can refill your water and get some ice, filtered, great stuff. ABC Commissary has a very interesting menu. If you're looking for something different but still quick service, I would highly recommend you check out ABC Commissary. When my kids wanted to go to Backlot for a burger, I could just mobile order from ABC Commissary and pick it up on the way over there. That arugula farro salad as a side to my buffalo chicken grilled cheese was delightful. I'm not much for fries, but you could also get a PB&J Uncrustable as a side, so if you just wanted to get an entree for yourself and a peanut butter and jelly for your kid, that's a great way to share it. And if you want a really good pretzel, Baseline Tap House is where you get it. It's got a big old Bavarian pretzel with beer cheese and mustard dipping sauce. Pizza Rizzo, unfortunately, has the worst pizza on property, so I wouldn't go there. If you're looking for pizza, you want to head down Sunset Boulevard. And if you happen to find yourself in there, you can ask for a courtesy water because they do have fountain drinks. Remember, any quick service that has fountain sodas should have filtered water. Well, actually, they will have filtered water. The question is, will they get it for you from the filter? The key to getting that filtered water is to, one, ask for it, and two, if the restaurant's not too busy, more than likely that's where they'll get it from. And if all else fails, backlot is just down the way. We usually hit backlot multiple times during the day just because we can go in, fill our water bottles, not having to ask a cast member for any help, and get out. This is also where you're going to find that Wookiee cookie that everybody talks about. It's okay. It's definitely worth a try once, but sometimes they will have specialty desserts that are only seasonal. We had the best Darth Vader cupcake, chocolate, and peanut butter, and it was here at Backlot. I will say that the Wookiee cookie is huge and definitely shareable. If you're looking for alternatives to French fries for your sides, you're not really going to find it here. Most quick services are going to be able to substitute out carrots or cuties, but other than that, you're pretty much stuck with fries, which is another reason why I absolutely loved getting my food from ABC Commissary. But if your picky eaters need a safe place to eat, chicken strips, macaroni and cheese, burgers, this is a good place for them. And you can sit down, there's plenty of seating, and of course the self-serve drinks. If you want to be a little more adventurous, Galaxy's Edge is the place for you. Ronto Roasters, hands down, my favorite place to eat in Hollywood Studios. The Ronto wrap, you can get it for breakfast, you can have it for lunch and dinner, you can get it plant-based. I haven't had a bad one yet. Just know that Ronto Roasters closes early in the afternoon, but you can go next door to the pickup window for Docking Bay 7 and you can pick up that Ronto wrap. You're not going to be able to get the plant-based zucchini wrap there, but you can get the regular Ronto wrap. And again, mobile order is your friend. And if you're wondering where to get that blue milk, well, it's just right around the corner from Olga's Cantina. Actually, they have blue and green milk both. No, I've never tried them, but DFB Guide, they have a full review on their website. If you have not checked out my playlist, I'm going to link right here in the top corner videos that I find helpful when I am planning my Disney trip. And if you haven't seen my other tours around the Walt Disney World parks, I will link them here as well. Let's take the path over to Toy Story Land. There's really only one quick service restaurant in Toy Story Land, and now we do have one table service restaurant. Again, this land is going to be packed. Mobile order is your friend if you really have to eat. At Woody's Lunchbox, I highly recommend using that mobile order. But let's check at the menu. They do have some good breakfast items if you happen to be there early in the morning, although I don't know that I would prioritize getting breakfast. But if you're waiting on your DAS and you've got some time to kill and you just have to try those Lunchbox tarts, then I would say head on over to Toy Story Land and mobile order those. On the other side of Toy Story Land, that's where you're going to find Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. Now that is a table service restaurant, so you're going to have a reservation, and I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews about it, so you might want to go check out other vloggers, maybe even join a Facebook group or two, and just kind of search. Don't ask what people think about it, but I would definitely search and see what they say. Looking for that Jack Num Num cookie that I'm sure you've seen in pictures? Yep, we got one too, and it is all that. This place also isn't usually too busy, so definitely grab that courtesy water right here. We're going to flip back to attractions, and remember when I said that if you DASed a ride and it went down, which they frequently do, then you will get a lightning lane to use. Now, I want you to go ahead and clarify how to use that with a guest services cast member. You're going to find them under the blue umbrellas. They're all over the parks. They're all over all of the parks. This is what happened to us last time we were there. Because you already waited in line for an attraction, you don't have to reassign that lightning lane to another ride. You can just go and scan in. Now, sometimes you're not going to be able to use it on certain attractions. Like, I think Rise of the Resistance is the one that's going to be excluded from those lightning lanes. But you can go and scan into another ride and use it. You can also book another DAS right away because, again, you can see these lines are going to be long. So as soon as you use your DAS or the DAS gets converted into a lightning lane, I would go ahead and book your next DAS and then decide what you're going to do with your lightning lane or how you're going to pass the time before you can go scan in at your next ride. I want to warn you about Smuggler's Run. That ride frequently has a single rider line. However, if you get in the single rider line, you are only going to be in the engineering position, which frankly is the position that I prefer to be in. But that means that you don't know who's going to be the pilot, and that could be dangerous. Let's just say if you want to hurl, let a 4-year-old drive the Millennium Falcon. It's always a great time. You can just go on and DAS that bad boy. And if you don't want to drive, make sure you've got somebody in your party that's at least decent at these. I don't want you to feel intimidated. DASing around this park really is pretty simple. You just got to get your game plan, know where you're headed, and watch your shows in between times. I hope you really found this interesting and helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in my other videos where we tour around Animal Kingdom, Epcot, all about Epcot festivals, and my next video will be a tour around Magic Kingdom. So we will see you then, and we'll see you soon.